How to avoid emotionally unavailable men. I spent my whole life being hurt by men because I chose unavailable men. I chose men who had no idea I existed, men who only wanted to fuck me and that's it. My ex-husband who was emotionally closed off, and I will tell you, it caused me a lot of pain. These men never hit me, they didn't criticize me, they were super sweet, but they were unavailable. They didn't care how I felt. They blew me off. They didn't give me closure. They didn't show up. And it was painful. I spent a lot of heartache and a lot of crying. And I don't think people make enough videos about that. They're always talking about narcissists and how narcissists hurt you, but emotionally unavailable men and women can be painful as well, but we choose them. We choose them because they're familiar from childhood. I call it a trauma bond. Mommy and daddy were emotionally unavailable, so that's familiar. I know how to deal with that. I know how to stuff my feelings. I know how to long for what I don't have. In the case of my parents, though, I shut my feelings off to them completely and I just started hating them, even though they were not bad people. But I didn't like someone who was sometimes nice and sometimes yelled at me. Like, if you're going to yell at me, fuck you. That's what I thought as a kid. Now you want to be nice to me after yesterday you yelled at me? Fuck you. I'm not going to give you a hug. That was me as a kid. But I think I had that luxury because my parents were actually pretty reliable and they loved me, but definitely emotionally unavailable. Every man I wanted, every woman I wanted was emotionally unavailable. It wasn't until last October that I healed this. And now what I look for, you guys, and go back to October when I talk about the guy that I liked, that I fell for, and how I healed my trauma bond through just the insight that I had. That he was representing like I was a baby wanting mommy to hold me. That's what was every trauma bond. It wasn't about the guy at all. It was a wound. And I started getting interested in trauma bonds, and I help people with the trauma bonds now through somatic healing. If you want help with that, contact me. I love helping people with this on that deep level. But the way I deal with this thing now, I need some wine. It's late at night. I do like some wine in the evening. The way I deal with that now is when I used to be when someone was unavailable for a long time, I didn't know it. And later when I knew it, I was like, but I can make that person available. My hug can make that person available. My love can make that person available. If I just hope enough, if I just let them know I love them enough, if I just long for them enough, all trauma bonds. Now I'm like, show me who you are, show me how you show up, be a man, be full and show up at the same level I show up. The moment I feel someone is unavailable, I know now how it feels. The second I feel unavailability, I'm out. It's no longer attractive. Now, that doesn't mean someone has to text me all the time. Like, I was dating a guy in January that I didn't want to text with him. We saw each other maybe once a week. I'm fine with that. Unavailability doesn't have anything to do with how often I see that person. It's about, do they show up? Are they emotionally available? Do they care how I feel? I can feel that. And that is no longer attractive. I also notice if guys are controlling or critical or disinterested in me. And so the point of this video is to be like, I think we have to listen to our feelings. And I want to recommend this for every relationship you had that turned out poorly because you didn't like how someone treated you or showed up. Go back to the very first or second date. That's a cake I'm baking. Go back to the very first or second date and interactions and think about what you overlooked. And that's the feeling that gave you a signal that you overlooked. Don't overlook that feeling because it doesn't turn out well. I don't think that we do ourselves any favors by reactivating wounds. And I think that we have to expect people to show up at the same level that we show up. So in order to avoid emotionally unavailable men, start noticing, when do they start to feel unavailable? And then make a decision that you don't want that anymore. Goodbye. That has to stop being attractive. You've got to heal that wound. And maybe it'll help you like it helped me, that to realize you're just longing for them the way that little child longed for mommy or daddy. You're just seeing mommy or daddy in them and reenacting that. Healthy adults want to be in relationship with people who are healthy and who show up and who are interested in them and who want to spend time with them and who care how they feel. Anything else is a trauma bond. If you want to work with me, contact me. I am looking for people who want to heal these kinds of wounds. Also, muscle tension, migraines, fibromyalgia, all stress-related tension that can come from trauma. I would love to work with you. Thank you for watching my video.